Today is the 17th of April 2024, and this will be our third video, okay, on the equations of the line, okay, equation of lines, okay. We've done a lot of line videos, how to plot coordinates, how to draw line graph. Okay, we've done it earlier on before we are doing it again, but this time it has inequalities involved. Okay, so I explained to you from the intro um, with simple lines, and then I started introducing you as if assuming you have s greater than 0, the line. How is still s equals 0, but greater than 0 is all the portions above. Okay, because when it's greater than 0, it means y is 0 on the y-axis. Okay, x equals 0 on the y-axis. So it will be all the portion on your right. And if it is less, it's all the portion on the left. So I did that video with you. I will encourage you, if you have time, go and watch it. Before I dig into today's video, thank you to all my subscribers. Okay, thank you very much. Please subscribe, share, like, and follow. Okay, and if the account is not yours, ask permission from the account holder, or open your own account. Ask somebody to help you open your own account, and then you can use it to subscribe or follow us. Okay, and when you get the video, like, share, because if you subscribe or you are following, immediately we upload, you get your notification, especially if you've pressed the bell. Okay, so I will encourage you to do that, and please share the video as well. Don't keep it to yourself. Okay, you might help somebody not to go back and receive. In the comment section, I normally write, please follow my notes transcript. Okay, so this is a diagram here that I'll be explaining. So if you hear anything and they are not to scale, if you hear anything apart from what there is in the video, go by the notes, go by the video inside. Okay, beware of scammers. Okay, I'm not asking for donation or collecting money for charity from this platform. I'm not doing that. Okay, so if somebody duplicates the platform and is asking you for money for maybe charity, it's not me, it's they are scammers. Okay, so don't text me and say I donated to your charity. I don't have one. Okay, so please, if somebody is asking you for money, they are scammers. Okay, I guess recapped. Okay, about inequality. So in the last lesson, I showed you how to choose the right portion. So assuming you didn't get y equals 0, x equals 0, um, y equals less than 1, s equals to greater than 1, or equal to. Okay, and you don't have to use broken lines or no shade to the right, and it's easy because those lines are easy. Okay, it's if it's greater or less, it's either above or below, or shading to the right or to the left. Okay, but what if you get a complicated um, line? Okay, so you draw the line, maybe y equals 8x minus 2. Or, and then you are looking for the region y is greater than x minus 2. You can't get shade um, to your right or above, okay, or downward. You need to find. So I said to you, you can choose a point which is not on the line. So the last one, the point or the origin wasn't on the line. So it was easier for us. So when we substituted the point 0, 0 in the equation that we drew, the line, the equation of the line that we drew, we realized that on one case it was true. So if it's true, then where the origin is, all that portion is satisfy the equation. If it's false, then it will be the other side. Okay, so I showed you that, and then we did a few lines, and then we saw how it works, so how to get the right portion. Today I'm going, so I use only one line, okay, and we saw how it works. We did the greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. I think we did a greater than when I showed you that you can use a broken line, or you can shade uh, as before, but the lines would, the shading will not touch the line because it is greater than, but it's not equal to the line. Okay, so I've shown you all that. Now let's do today's starter, and I'll show you what I have to do because we need to build on what we've learned. Now today's starter again, it's we have the shape here which is like a trapezium. Okay, it's not to scale, so we have a rectangle. Okay, see it as a it looks like a square, but see it as a rectangle. And we have a triangle. Now what do we have here? We are told AD here is 10 kilometers. Okay, AB is 9 kilometers. Okay, from here to here, and DC is 3 kilometers. So if AB is 9 kilometers, then AX, which I put the X there myself, is 6 kilometers. So from AX is 6 kilometers, and then DC is 3 kilometers. Okay. Now, they said the angle at B is 90, the angle at C is 90. Now, these angles are also 90, and this is also 90. Okay, so the two angles at X is 90 each. The angle at D here, XDC is 90. Please follow my notes now. Now, they want us to find the length AC. Okay, if you look at the question, you think it's a bit complicated, but it's not. The first triangle, this is my first triangle, and this is my second my rectangle. Okay, now if BC is 8 kilometers, then DX will be 8 kilometers. Okay, if AB is 9 kilometers and this is 3, then AX will be 6. Okay, now we know AD 10 kilometers. Okay, We know AD, but we don't know XD, that one, XD. We don't know this one. Okay, we had to use calculation to solve that. But we know AD, we know AX. So again, Pythagoras again. And I have stressed that several times. The 90 degrees is opposite to the length, the hypotenuse. Okay, so AD all squared will be DX all squared plus AX all squared. Okay, immediately you are able to do that, everything else fall in place. So this is what I've done. Okay, so 6, this 6 all squared plus XD all squared will be 10 all squared. That is your AD. So that is here. Okay, so 6 plus XD all squared will be equal to 10 all squared. So XD all squared will be 10 squared minus 36. 10 squared minus 36, 10 squared is 100 minus 36, which is 6 squared. Now when you subtract, you are going to get 64. Okay, so XD, that one, this one here, okay, is the square root of plus or minus 64, which is 8 kilometers. So now we know this is 6, we know this is 10, and then we know this is 8 kilometers. But we haven't finished, because we are supposed to find the distance AC. Now, if we know DS as 8 kilometers, then BC here is also 8 kilometers. Okay, now if we draw a broken line from A to C, okay, that is 90 degrees. That is BC is 8, AB is 9 kilometers. So to find AC, we now got a new triangle. Okay, because the angle at B is 90. Okay, and the 90 is always opposite to the hypotenuse, the length of the hypotenuse, that side. Okay, so now AC, which we want, all squared, will be equal to 8 kilometers all squared, the one we just found, because if we found dx, it's the same as BC. So 8 squared plus 9 squared, which is our AB. So now, if we can set the equation out, everything is calculated. Okay, so here we are again. Okay, so AC all squared will be 9 all squared plus 8 all squared. 9 squared is 81. 8 all squared is 64. If you add them together, you get 145. So AC all squared equals 145. So AC equals plus or minus the square root of 145. Okay, now if they say leave your answer in 2 decimal places, it's length, so you are going to choose positive. So if they say leave your answer in 2 decimal places, you go for 12.04 kilometers. If they say leave your answer to the nearest kilometer or the nearest whole number or 2 significant figures, you go for 12 kilometers. Okay, don't give so many answers. Okay, if they read their question to the end, if they restrict you, go by what they're asking for. So now AC, this length here, that one here, from here to here, okay, AC is the one we are supposed to find, okay, is 12 kilometers, okay. That is if they ask us to leave it to the nearest kilometer. Now the second example is also Pythagoras, okay. Here we have A, B, C, and this is straightforward. It's still not to scale. We have AB, which is 6 decimeters, AC, 15 decimeters. Normally they use meters or kilometers or centimeters. Please, they can change it, okay? 6 decimeters is different from 6 centimeters. So go by the units they've given you to put down as your answer. Most of the question papers, they will give you the unit, so you just have to write the answer. But assuming you were not given, then you have to write it down, okay? So now ABC here is 90, so it means this is my AC is my hypotenuse, okay. The 90 degrees is always opposite the hypotenuse. I don't know why I'm stressing this out the last 2 days, okay. So now AC all squared should be equal to AB all squared plus BC all squared. We are finding BC, okay. So AC is 15 all squared. We are here now. AB is 6 all squared, and then we want BC all squared. So BC all squared will be 15 all squared minus 6 all squared, okay. So 15 all squared will be 225 minus 36, okay. So BC all squared will be 189, okay. So BC will be plus or minus the square root of 189, which will give you 13.75 decimeters, okay. That is if you're supposed to leave your answer in 2 decimal places, or 13.8 decimeter 1 decimal place, or 14 decimeters to the nearest decimeter, the nearest whole number, or 2 significant figures. Again, read the question to the last sentence. If you are not restricted, you can leave your answer any of these, okay. But if you are restricted, don't give 3 answers, because there's some that might decide to mark you wrong because you've given them answers to choose from, okay. So give them the answer they're asking you to give. Now that will be our starter today, okay. We are going to, this will be our 3rd video on the equation of the line. So first of all, we want to draw the line x less than y less or equal to x minus 2. That means we need a portion, okay. So I chose the point 0, 1, 2, 3 for x. So when x is 0, minus 2, y will be minus 2. When x is 1, minus 2, y will be minus 1. when x is 2 minus 0, okay, minus 2, y will be 0, sorry, okay, so 0 minus 2 is minus 2, 1 minus 2 is minus 1, 2 minus 2 is 0. When x is 3 minus 2 is 1. So we have the coordinates 0 minus 2, 1 minus 1, 2, 0, 3, 1. So these are the coordinates I'm going to plot, okay? So first of all, I'm being asked to plot this coordinates. So I plotted it here, okay? I plotted it and this was the line graph I had. Okay, this is my line y equals x minus 2 when I plot the point. So 0, okay, minus 2, 1, minus 1, 2, 0, okay, and then 3, 1. So I used my straight line to join it. So I have this line, okay. Now I need to investigate which portion is less, okay, less or equal to y is less or equal to minus 2 after drawing the line. So when I drew the line now, 0, 0 is not on the line, okay, so I chose the origin here because it's easier to see, okay. If it's 0, 0 is part of the line, then I'll choose 1, 1 or something simpler to help me. So I choose the coordinate 0, 0, and I got 0 is less or equal to 2, which is false. If you look at the number line, this is 0, and 0 is never less or equal to minus 2. 0 is always greater than. So it means the region that will satisfy this equation will be all the region that does not involve a 0, 0. So if 0, 0 is here, this region here is what I need, okay. So that is the first graph. Now after doing that, so it's a region below the graph, okay. Now they asked me to draw the line x less than 0, less or equal to 0. Now the line x equals 0 is the y-axis, and we know that less or equal to 0 will be towards my left. Okay, we did that. Okay, that one is easy. So because if this is 0, everything below 0 from minus 1 will be, so this is the portion I need, that portion here, okay. From here all the way down, you can see that I've shaded it. So this line, the first line, we need that portion here, okay. The second line, which is x less than 0, we need that portion there, okay. All this portion on the left side of the y-axis, okay. Then they said we should go ahead and plot the line y greater or equal to 6. So we did the line y equals 6. So we come here on the y equals 6 is this line here, okay. Now for y to be greater than minus 6 is all the portion above that portion here. Okay, so now if you look at it critically on the graph, okay, you realize that the first line we investigated is it is not at the origin, it's on the other side of the origin, so it's the other side of the line. So we went for this shading here. They all touch the line. The second one, x less than or equal to, is this portion here. Okay, and the third one, x y greater or equal to 6, is this line here, but it's above because it should be greater. So the portion that we need is this triangle portion here, this portion that satisfied. Um, that is the portion that it will require. Okay, now this is how I was taught, because you can see the three lines. Okay, the three portion, this is the portion required. Okay, so if you look at the vertices, they can ask you to do anything with this portion, or you just draw and that will be it. So the portion is A here is -4. You can see -4 and -6. B here, as you can see, is 0 and -2. C here is 0 and -6. Okay, so this is the portion you need. Okay, but I had to draw two graphs. Okay, because so this is graph 1. So the region required is ABC. I have my dates, a graph of, so the three graphs. Okay, if you look at the region, the line goes through the region, but some kids get muddied at this. Okay, so what other teachers teach, okay, some other teachers, I was taught this one. Okay, because you can clearly see, if you shade properly, you can clearly see that the shading, this is the only region that has the three, because look at it, you can look at it, this is the only region that has the three shaded parts. But other teachers also teach that if you get the line, the first line, this is the portion, you want the portion below. Okay, but shade the portion opposite. So I drew the line again and I shaded the portion opposite. That is the region we don't want. And then for the second line, x less or equal to 0. Okay, that is the portion we want, but I'm going to shade the portion opposite. Okay, I'll show you the wisdom. And then the line y equals -6, this line here, instead of shading it above, you shade the portion opposite. So now, instead of shading it the right way, okay, the right portion, you shade the portion opposite. So the blank space now becomes the portion you require. Okay, so some teachers also teach it this way. Okay, which some kids, because there are different kind of learners, some kids are able to identify with. So again, A here is -4 all the way down and -6. B is also 0 -2, and C is 0 minus 6. Okay, so either you find the right portion and shade the opposite, but don't do it just for one, you do it for the three. So if you are going by this method, if the right portion is downward, okay, then you shade the one opposite, especially if you are finding the region. But if you are not finding the region and you are finding the portion just for one line, you have to shade the actual portion as I showed you in the other videos. Okay, but if you have a question like this and you are supposed to find the common region, then if you want to have the distinct region to be blank, then you shade the opposite region. Okay, the region that is not required. Okay, so as this, I shade above instead of below. For the line s less than 0, I shade to my right instead of to my left. Okay, and the line y greater or equal to 6, I shade downward instead of upward. So instead of getting the three shades coming through here, this place becomes blank. Okay, so now you can see this clearly and choose this. So in the end, if you do it the other way, but you have to be consistent. So if you do it this way and you are shading the portion opposite, okay, then you are going to come up with this kind of graph where you can see it blank and distinct. Okay, or you go by the right, the other way, shade the right region, and where you can see the three lines as this, that will be the region you require. Okay, so all of it. So I did two graphs today to come and show you which one you can do. I'm used to this one, okay, because if I tell you to shade opposite, next time if it's just one graph, you draw the graph and you shade opposite, and then it's definitely wrong. So if you have three graphs and you are supposed to find a region, you can remember to shade the opposite of the region you want. Then your graph will come out as this. Okay, but if it's just one graph, okay, you can, if it's still three graphs, you can shade the right region as long as you can see, because you can see that this line here, you can see the shading here. This line here, you can see the shading going down, and that line here, okay, you can see the shading going up. So it's only this region that you can see the three shaded parts. You can see it here, you can see it there, and you can see it there, and you can see it there. You can't see it here. Okay, so it's better. I was taught this method, okay, so that doesn't confuse you. But as we know, there are different kind of learners. Okay, so if it's just one graph, then you go for you don't shade the opposite. But if you have three graphs and you find difficulty in distincting that, because as I've showed you, you still get the vertices with the same coordinates, okay, as here and as in this graph here, okay, you'll see that you still arrive at the same thing. It's just that one will be blank and one will have all the three shades like here. Okay, so you choose which one is good for you, or which one you've been taught, and which one doesn't confuse you, and go. So you can either go by this method where you are choosing the right portions, the right parts of the graph, or you go by this one when you are choosing the opposite, but don't choose the opposite for one line and choose the right. You won't get that blanks. Okay, so if you are consistent, if they give you 3 or 4 lines, um go by the opposite or the right one. Okay, if you go by the opposite, you are going to get a blank space like that, and that will be your portion. If you go by the right one, so just be consistent. Okay, so I had to draw the 2 types of ways for you to see, so that you can choose the one that you understand best. Okay, so that if you're under exam pressure, you can take your time into it and get the full mark. Here also, it's not so much mathematical work. You can gain all the marks. Okay, um, so this is what I came to show you today. Please subscribe, share, like, and follow us. Give us nice comment. I'll appreciate it a lot. Follow my notes slash script, please. Um, like today, it's important for you to see the different way you can draw this graph. Okay, just be consistent and you arrive at the same answer. So I had to do both for you to see. And beware of scammers. Take care of yourself online. Thank you for joining me and watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next.